It's Sunday Night Football, and all eyes will be on Chiefs and Ravens, and we can win $100,000. Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into this episode of Winning Bets. Can't wait to break down this game with you guys. It's Sunday Night Football over on the NBC Sports Predictor app, where we can win $100,000 if we can correctly answer 7 questions on this Chiefs vs. Ravens game. If nobody can do it, they'll still give away a guaranteed $5,000 prize to the group people that can get the most points right. Also, don't forget, guys, I'm also putting money up on the line. That's right, if you join the league that I've created, and to get that league information, it is down in this video description. If you want to go ahead and join that league, you can compete for $25 that I put up for grabs each and every single week. Let's go ahead and see who won it last week. We had DDOEK09 went ahead and took home my $25 with 15 points. Tough week one. We knew week one was going to be tough because there's not a whole bunch of information to go off of. So, you know, relatively low scores, obviously, across the board, but congratulations to this individual right there for getting the most points and taking home my $25. So go ahead and hit me up on Twitter, drop me your PayPal information, and I'll go ahead and send you $25. And everybody else, good luck on your picks next week, this week. But if you haven't gotten in that league, go ahead and get in that league. Compete against your fellow Winning Bet supporters, talk some smack, and take my money along the way. Look, everybody's got to bounce back this week, right? It was week one, tough week. Everybody's going to bounce back, so don't really worry about that right there. Chiefs, Ravens, this is always going to be a good game. Lots of star players on the field, so we look forward to this matchup. In my research, I obviously focused on what these two teams did and did not do very well in week one. But then also Mahomes and Lamar have gone up each other the past 3 seasons, so I looked at the stats from those 3 games as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into question number 1. Question number 1 is about the best quarterback probably in the NFL. I say probably because I'm hanging up a Josh Allen jersey right here behind me, but yeah, Mahomes is the best right there. So how many passing yards and how many touchdowns is he going to get? Well, what did Derek Carr do with the Raiders against this Ravens defense? They got 409 yards. I know there was overtime involved right there, but that's still a lot of yards up against that Ravens defense. Mahomes versus Ravens in those 3 games that I mentioned got 385, 374, and 377 yards for 4, 3, and 2 touchdowns. Got no Marcus Peters in this game. Obviously, he's out for the entire season. Maybe no Jimmy Smith. Although it does look like the last couple of days, the practice reports have gotten better, and maybe Jimmy Smith will give it a go, and he'll be able to play and make his season debut this weekend. And then also, maybe why will the Chiefs pass more? Well, look at this Ravens rush defense. They only allowed 82 yards last week to that Raiders rushing attack, and that's no big surprise right there. The Ravens generally always have a good rush defense right there. I'm expecting another big game from Patrick Mahomes, so I'm going to go ahead and say 380 plus yards, and he'll get 4 touchdowns. To me, the touchdown part was the hard part. I'm pretty confident on 380 yards. I'm somewhere between 4 and 3 touchdowns. I went ahead and made it 4 touchdowns. Question number 2 is about Lamar Jackson. How many passing yards and how many rushing yards is he going to get? Well, in week 1, he passed the ball for 235 yards while he chipped in with another 86 yards on the ground. The Chiefs allowed 153 yards to the Browns, and I think that's a pretty good comparison because much like the Browns have a great rushing attack, obviously so do this Ravens team. They also have a great rushing attack. So that 153 yards there that the Chiefs gave up, that's definitely concerning. The Chiefs allowed 304 yards in the air to Baker Mayfield. That doesn't bother me as much because I don't think Lamar Jackson is as good of a passer, and especially not if you can get him from playing from behind and he's a little bit more predictable on what he's going to do, which, passing the ball in that situation. I don't think he's good in that scenario right there. Let's look at what Lamar did against these Chiefs in those 3 games that I mentioned. From rushing, he got 83, 46, and 67 yards. For passing, he got 97, 267, and 147 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in Lamar Jackson at 220 to 249 passing yards, and I'm going to give him 80 to 99 yards on the ground. Who's going to score the first touchdown of the game is question number 3. Well, we look at the Chiefs players here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's obviously the lead back by far. No doubt about that right there. Tyreek Hill, he's going to be the leader of the team in targets. He was the leader in week 1 by far right there. Travis Kelce, he led the team, though, in touchdowns. He got 2 touchdowns in week 1. And then you can obviously go for any other Chiefs player. If we look at some of these Ravens players, Tyson Williams right there, the thing I'm worried about him is, and they give you this, is I'm worried about Latavius Murray taking over. He was starting to get into that game more for the Raiders towards the end of that game. And what worries me is he didn't start that game as the Ravens running back because he'd only been on the team for 4 days or 3 days or something. That's not the case right now. Now he's got an entire week worth of preparation. He's been with these guys at number 1. So I'm worried with Tyson Williams. That would worry me that he doesn't get the majority of the carries and maybe doesn't get the carries first off. They may go to Latavius Murray. I mean, there's a reason why Latavius Murray is a really good back right there. So, yeah, I would give you a little bit of caution right there with Tyson Williams. As for Mark Andrews, he had a down game for the Raiders, relatively speaking. Didn't have much production right there. Lamar Jackson, he's only got one career TD versus the Chiefs in his career from a rushing standpoint, but he did lead the team in carries in week 1, so we go ahead and we absolutely like that. And then you can obviously go any other player there for the Ravens. I'm going to go ahead and lock it in on Travis Kelce. Love Travis Kelce. I mean, he's the red zone threat, but not also can he score in the red zone. He can definitely get touchdowns outside the red zone. This guy, yards after carry, he is just exceptional right there. He's big, he's tough, he's hard to bring down. So I like Travis Kelce. I do see the Chiefs scoring first. So if you don't want to go Travis Kelce, my other selection would be any other player because there is just so many weapons on that Chiefs team. They give you obviously the big three here, and Edwards, Hilaire, Hill, and Kelce. But remember, Patrick Mahomes, he also got a touchdown last week on the ground. So a lot of Chiefs weapons. It can come from anywhere. I like Travis Kelce. I think he's the biggest of those weapons in terms of the consistency from scoring a touchdown from perspective, and that's what they're asking you. But if you don't want to go Travis Kelce, I like the Chiefs scoring, and I think any other player for the Chiefs is probably the next best option. Question number 4 is Travis Kelce. How many receptions and yards will he get? Well, in week 1, he got 7 targets, 6 catches for 76 yards. Look at what the Ravens allowed last week to Darren Waller, which is obviously the Raiders tight end. 10 catches on 105 yards and 1 touchdown. That's just incredible right there. The production that the Raiders were able to get out of their tight end position, and he's a really good tight end. Well, Travis Kelce is a better tight end, folks. Travis Kelce is right on that same line with George Kittle. They're the 2 elite tight ends in the entire NFL. If we look at what Kelce's done up against these Ravens in those 3 games, 6 catches for 87 yards, 7 catches for 89 yards, and 7 catches for 77 yards. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in at 8 catches for 90 to 109 yards. Look, we factor in who Travis Kelce is as a player, but then also factor in the success that Waller had last week up against that Ravens defense. That's going to be something that the Chiefs will want to really put pressure on to see if they can expose that same weakness as well. So, yeah, I like Travis Kelce to have him a big old game this coming Sunday night. Question number 2 is who's going to have the most second quarter yards? They give you Hill, Kelce, Edwards, Hilaire, and Hardman there for the Chiefs. For the Ravens, they give you Andrews and Brown are the players you get there for the Ravens. Notice on the touchdown question, they gave you 3 players from each team. They don't give you that for this question. They give you 4 Chiefs and 2 Ravens. I think much like I'm kind of thinking here that the Chiefs will have the upper hand in this matchup, they think so as well. That's why they give you an additional Chiefs player right there. So that was just caught my attention right there. But I'm going to go ahead and lock in on Tyreek Hill. This was relatively easy for me. Tyreek Hill led the team in targets in week 1 by 8. You guys know how I like to lean on targets in terms of passing yards. We like to be able to predict where the ball is going. May not be able to predict in which quarter it's going, but at least Patrick Mahomes will be looking Tyreek Hill's way. And we always know he's the big play, right? You're going to be kicking yourself in the pants if he rips off, a 40, 50-yard catch and you didn't go ahead and select Tyreek Hill because you know that potential is always there. So go ahead and give me Tyreek Hill. Question number 6 is what will be the length of the longest touchdown of the game? Lots of luck here in this question. And a complete guess, I'm going to go ahead and say 38 to 45 yards will be the longest touchdown. And then question 7 is you got to give these people a winner, and you got to give them a win margin. Well, if you look at those 3 games between Mahomes and Lamar that I mentioned, Mahomes has got the better hand. He's 3-0 against Lamar Jackson. They've won those games by 14 points, 5 points, and 3 points. He did get a win in one of those in Baltimore. So we like that as well right there. The Ravens will be better at home. Don't kid yourself. Obviously in their home opener, they're going to be a lot better. But I don't know if I trust Lamar Jackson. I think the Chiefs will get to a lead, get to a somewhat sizable lead. And I just Lamar Jackson with the ball in his hand, when he's predictable that he's going to have to throw that ball, to me is not going to be that much successful here. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Chiefs win this game. I have the Chiefs winning this game by 10 to 11 points. I think that'll be the win margin on Sunday night. Obviously, really, really tough pick margins to pick from here, but give me a Chiefs victory by 10 to 11 points. All right, guys, don't forget, if you want to take my $25 as well this Sunday to go along with this $100,000 that NBC Sports Predictor app's putting up for grabs, don't forget, grab that league information from this video description. And also at the end of this video, I'll go ahead and link a video where you can win $1 million on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, $10,000 on the Play Barstools app, and $5,000 on the Yahoo Fantasy app, Yahoo Fantasy Slate app. All those are around NFL Week 2, and I put all 3 of those contests in one video. I'll link that here for you just at the end. Otherwise, guys, enjoy Sunday Night Football, and we look forward to seeing you back here next week on this same contest. Have a good one, guys. That was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and good luck with your picks. If interested in placing real sports bets, then check out my latest daily free sports betting video in the bottom right corner. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next contest.